So let's do, beautiful. Okay, so let me share my screen right here, share. All right, could you see my screen, Juan?
Yes, I can.
Perfect, awesome. So right here, of course, this is what you looked at. You watched this video right here. That's fantastic. Good, so we have the participation. So as it says here, every class, you'll get 2% just for showing up. So for today, you get 2% right there. Homework task, you'll get 2% for each homework task. Maybe I'll just put 2% in brackets right there. So great, I see you did your homework, you got 2%. Aside from that, I would like for you to open up an account for Blogger, for blog posts, and one for SoundCloud, yeah? And if we have a look at this, at the timeline of our assignments, this is lesson 1. So you're expected to have finished 1 homework task, 1 blog post, 1 SoundCloud upload, and 20 words on Jamboard. I know I haven't given you the task for blog or SoundCloud, so I'll give that to you for next time, all right? So I know you haven't finished it because I didn't give you the homework, but you could do it next time. When you do it, Juan, I'd like for you to just put the link to your SoundCloud just right up here. So that's your Blogger link and your SoundCloud link. I'm going to put a link for your progress report. So basically, if we do something like this, you know, if we go over to my SoundCloud here, well, this is actually my the SoundCloud profile of my student Svetlana. But if we go over to my home, we could see some of my other students. We have Alexandra, we have Christina, Kyle, right? So basically, I'd like for you to just open up an account. Each class, I want you to put 1 upload. So you're practicing your English, you're practicing your speaking alone. I'll have a look at it, and then I'll put some feedback in your Jamboard on the last page. All right, so all of the feedback for SoundCloud will go on page 20. SoundCloud feedback. Perfect. All right, Juan, tell me to stop if I'm going too quickly. At the end of the class, I'll give you all of your homework, so you'll see everything you need for next class. Jamboard, basically, I want you to have 20 contributions each class. So a contribution is something like this. It's a sticky note. So for example, let's just try phone. That's a new word, for example. Let's find an actual new word. Let's use an idiom, right? Let's say to hit the hay. To hit the hay, what does that mean, to hit the hay?
No, I don't know what it means.
Not sure, that means to go to bed. That means to go to sleep, Yeah, that's just an expression we use. So sometimes you could put the expression or the word, then you could also put the definition, and maybe you could use it in a sentence if you want to. I'm tired. I need to hit the hay. Perfect. So that's it. Right there is 3 contributions, 3 sticky notes. I want 20 for each class. You could use any words, any phrases you want. They could be words you already know or completely new ones, your choice. After that, I'm going to make them into quizzes, and I'll create quizzes for you. And that's where we get the mark for this, the Kahoot quiz. All right, great. So that's pretty much it right there. Do you have any questions so far?
How does the Kahoot quiz work? I'm going to take the quiz during classes or after classes?
Good question. Usually I'll send it to you, and it will be like timed. So for example, let me just log in here. This is the Kahoot thing right here. Good stuff. Cool. Let's go to Kyle's Kahoot, or let's go to Christina's Kahoot. These are some that I've made for other students. So for example, there's a deadline that I set for the Kahoot. Usually it's 3 days. So I'll just copy the URL, send it to you, and you just need to do it within 3 days. The first Kahoot will be probably only 3 questions. And then after that, it will become more and more difficult too. Yeah, but sometimes I do them in class with students as well. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe they'll be in class, maybe they'll be on your own time. But if it's on your own time, I'll send it to you and I'll say, hey, Juan, could you finish this in the next 3 or 4 days? And it'll take like 5 minutes, the first few. All right. So that's it. This is all, I'm just doing this so that my students could practice at home so that they could do something in their own time, you know? So I hope it helps. All good, Juan. No questions?
No, that sounds good.
Happy days. All right, let's get started. So for our conversation today, what did I send you? I sent you 3 options: rhymes, patterns, minimalism. What would you like to talk about today?
I think I'm gonna go with minimalism.
Nice. Okay, excellent. Good stuff. All right, so first of all, what does it mean to be a minimalist? I guess we could start there.
Oh, sure. Well, I think it is a lifestyle. I mean, it's about the choices you make, about your possessions, you know. So a person that considers themselves minimalist is someone that actually is not that attached to the possessions, you know, he or she has. So I think that's about the most basic definition that I can give.
Yeah, that's pretty much the essence. And we'll go into the more kind of advanced, the types of minimalism and the kind of shades of gray today, right? But yeah, definitely. In essence, that's what it is, for sure. Do you consider yourself a minimalist?
No, I don't. But I honestly find the concept really appealing. I mean, it's something I'd like to experience. It's just that I haven't really, I don't have like, I think I would need guidance to actually experience minimalism.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah, 100%. It could be, I think that there are different ideas of minimalism. Like usually when I hear minimalism, it is also associated with waste. With eliminating waste or minimizing waste. So maybe we could talk a little bit about that. Like why do people want to be minimalist? One reason is to reduce waste, I think. Another reason could be to reduce costs in the long term, I suppose. Another reason could be to
reduce choice, I think.
Choice. To reduce choice. Okay, what do you mean by that? It's interesting.
I've seen some people, you know, in YouTube that, for example, they only have like one t-shirt, and like not one t-shirt, but one kind of t-shirt, only one color. So they do not have to choose in the morning what they want to wear, because they already know that they only have one kind of t-shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And that could kind of that could help you budget your time as well. If you have less choices and less temptation, it could also help you with time. Oh, another thing, organization. If you have less t-shirts, for example, then you have less I guess stuff that will be you know, lying around the room that you have to eventually clean up. You have less washing to do, less laundry, less drying. Yeah, so it's all part of like the assembly line. Yeah, cool. So let's talk about different things that people are minimalist with. Obviously, clothing is one thing that people try to minimize, how much clothing they have. What else? Are there other kinds of minimalism or other things that we try to minimize?
I've also seen digital minimalism, and I believe that's about like decluttering your digital environment, like your computer, your phone, all those things that are just full of distractions that we might want to get rid of most of them. Actually only leave the things that we care about, the things that bring us joy and help us be more productive.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. So yeah, like these things could definitely cause a lot of cluttering, especially when I get like a new device. I have so much storage. I have very fast processing. Everything is new on my phone or on my computer. And one of the things that has been tempting in the past has been just loading it with apps, right? Like just downloading all of these apps that I'm never going to use just because I can because I have the space and I have the processing is just so much better. So I like one app I never used, but I've downloaded so many times. It's called Evernote. Do you know that app? It's like an elephant in the logo. Yeah, it's like I've downloaded that so many times to like never use it. You know, yeah, it's yeah, definitely it could cause a little bit of distraction. They have, we have a proverb actually, like a cluttered desk is a cluttered mind or something like that. Let me just say a cluttered, yeah, a cluttered desk is a cluttered mind. That's exactly it. Have you heard, or a messy desk is a messy mind. Okay, I guess we could use both of them. Um, have you heard that proverb or that idiom before?
I haven't. No.
Okay, I'll put that in your Jamboard then. A messy, a cluttered desk is a cluttered mind. So since we're talking about like the mental kind of side of minimalism, do you think that this is necessarily a bad thing? Because when I look this up on the internet, I immediately start seeing things about like Einstein and things about, you know, the role model scientists and philosophers who were notorious for having messy desks, messy offices, but they were able to accomplish incredible feats and amazing things. So usually when I hear about disorganization, and a clutter, a mess, it's in a negative context. But is that a negative thing to you, or are there any positives to it?
I mean, if it doesn't represent a problem for the person that is actually using that work environment, then I don't think that necessary. That doesn't have to be something bad. I mean, personally, I don't like clutter. So I try to keep everything like, at least on the visual level, I try to keep everything organized around me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, yeah, same here. I don't like a lot of stuff just sitting around. I like, for me, the less stuff, the better. And the main reason is because, first of all, I would not call myself a minimalist. I am not a minimalist. I also like having choices, but I'm a minimalist in the sense that I don't like having waste. You know, I try to use every piece of clothing that I possess, that I own. Even like I have maybe two pieces of clothing I don't wear often. That's a football jersey for Celtic, which is like a football team in Scotland, which like I just don't get a lot of opportunities to wear it. Like I love the jersey, I love the shirt, but I don't have a lot of chances. And the second thing is a kilt. Do you know what a kilt is?
No.
No, a kilt is, you know, it's that traditional garment of clothing that Scottish people wear. It's,
Oh.
yeah. Exactly. I have one of those, and as you could imagine, I can't just like, well, I guess I could walk down the street with it, but yeah, like the chances just never have risen, you know. So here I'm putting all of this in your Jamboard as we speak. So if we get up to 20 words, then that's pretty much all the words for the class right there. Scottish garment of clothing. Yeah, it's kind of like some people compare it to like a skirt. Yeah. Yeah, so you know, I think those are the only things I don't really wear. Aside from that, I try to use all of the clothes that I can, but I do have a lot of I have many options. It's not like I have 3 t-shirts and I rewear them all the time. Like I have different things I wear. So I like that as well, you know. But yeah, like eliminating waste, for example, with books, because I remember when I was in university, every time I moved, every year I would move, and whenever I moved, I would always be bringing these books that I never used. You know, these books that were never read, right?
They were just
So
collecting dust.
yeah, just collecting dust. Yeah, just picking up dust. That's it. Yeah. Do you have anything? It could be a toy, it could be a collectible, it could be a book that just has never gotten used, picks up dust.
Never got in use. I don't think so. No, but I do have some books that I just sitting there. Well, they're not collecting that much dust because they're inside a drawer. But yeah, I have many books that I just don't read. I've read them once and they're just there. Yeah.
Yeah. And when I say never use, I mean that in a hyperbolic sense. Like maybe they've been used a few times, but not often. For example, I think something that I have barely used is a harmonica. I bought this harmonica from a bookstore when I was like 8 years old, and I wanted to learn how to play the harmonica. So I bought it with a book that teaches you how to play the harmonica. I've just never used it. You know, I think that happens with a lot of instruments. A lot of people say they're going to like start playing the instrument and it just sits there. Sometimes it happens with sports as well, you know, like with bicycles and things like that. Oh, I'm going to start cycling, and they just don't end up doing it, you know. Yeah. Are there
I
any
also
other,
had,
sorry, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say I also had a guitar. I had a cajon. It's another instrument.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I only use them for school because we have music class. But
Uh,
then just never use them again.
you had guitar in music class, really? That's
Yeah,
cool. How old were you when you played the guitar for music?
I believe I was 11, 12, maybe. I was very young. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's cool. Yeah, because like for us, we all played just very basic instruments. Like we all played the same instrument, the recorder. It's kind of like a flute. And that's what we played
Oh,
when we were like 11 or 12. Nobody was allowed, nobody played the guitar at school until they were like 16 in music class. And some students were able to get it, but they had to buy it. So that's the reason why like teachers wouldn't teach you how to play the guitar. Like everybody would have the same instrument. So you needed something very cheap, like the recorder, which was just like maybe $15 or something like that, you know? Yeah. Are there any instruments you'd like to learn in the future?
I definitely like to learn piano. Uh, I don't see myself playing the guitar anymore. I think playing the guitar involves like singing, and I definitely don't want to sing. I mean, but playing piano is more about the melody, I think. So that's something I really want to learn soon. I've actually been looking for some pianos. They are not exactly pianos. They are smaller.
Keyboards. Yeah, the
Yeah, keyboard.
keyboards. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Awesome. Good stuff. That's cool. Yeah. Actually, I wonder how much those cost. Do you have any idea what the price range is for keyboards?
Uh, in dollars, I don't, I don't even know.
No. Hmm. Oh, look.
But it shouldn't be more than a couple $100, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's what I see right here, like 150, 200. I was just curious because it seems like it's the type of thing I've never had any idea of how much it would actually come out to, you know? Yeah.
Actual pianos are real expensive.
Oh
That's,
God, yeah, like that's super, super expensive. Um, yeah, like back in the day, a lot of people would have a piano inside their house, but I think even then, if someone had a piano inside their house, it would be like impressive, like really impressive. So now I haven't seen a piano inside anyone's house for a long time, but we did have a piano inside my house when I was younger. My mom, that was like her biggest purchase. I think it was like a wedding gift or something, a piano. And whenever it was a rainstorm or like the electricity went out, she would always play the piano. That was like the entertainment. Or if there was like a tornado warning, I don't know if you get tornadoes in Peru or not in your area, but if there
yeah.
was a tornado warning, we'd all go into the basement. She'd like play the piano. So I associate the piano, unfortunately, with like bad weather. It's
Mm.
actually kind of weird. Yeah. Yeah, it's so weird we have that like association, you know. Okay, fair enough. So back to the topic of minimalism. If you tried to be a minimalist, like whatever that means, a minimalist, what do you think would be the hardest thing for you?
I think it would be the resisting the impulse to buy new stuff, because right now I think it's true for everybody in some level. I mean, we see phones come up every month, every year. We see new laptops, I mean, tablets, whatever. Uh, and yeah, I'm guilty of that. Feeling the impulse to buy new stuff.
Mhm.
That's yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Obviously, like data and algorithms don't help. And like if you buy something right after, you'll see an advertisement for you to try to buy more, right? So, but some people subscribe to different magazines, for example, to different products and like websites, and that could definitely make it worse. Like you can make it more tempting to buy stuff. Um, but yeah, for me, like I guess the most tempting thing about buying stuff is probably it's probably like low cost stuff. It's like food because I don't live near any fast food places. So if I'm watching sports, which is the only time I watch TV, is like once a week if I'm watching hockey or baseball. It's like if I see a commercial with like chicken or something, like a commercial with like a burger because I only have it once every month or once every 2 months, so it's really really tempting. But I think that's the only advertisement that really works on me, you know. Aside from that, I've been watching these commercials for this thing called Peloton. Have you heard of that before? Peloton? It's like a
Peloton.
bike. It's like an exercise at home system.
Oh,
But I've
yeah.
been watching like these commercials keep coming up on YouTube and they just won't get it. I don't want to buy Peloton. Like I'm not going to buy Peloton. It won't happen. But they keep showing them to me. It's incredible. They're so relentless. And there's this other commercial called Lingo Pie. Oh, it changed that to lingerie. Lingo Pi, which is, I guess, a new language learning app. And they keep showing that to me as well, you know, that even though I'm never going to buy it. Are there any apps, are there any advertisements that you see over and over on YouTube or TV or whatever you watch that you just know you're never going to buy, but they keep trying to show it to you?
I see a lot of, this subscription services like Spotify, Disney Plus, and I don't know what else is there. So yeah, I see those a lot, and I'm not interested in buying because I already have another service that does exactly the same thing. Like I don't use Spotify, I use another service, so it's just it always bothers me to have to constantly be seeing the same advertisement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So definitely, it's not like you're going to be buying this other stuff anytime soon, right? If you already have similar services. I think going back to minimalism, that might be one of the reasons why people actually buy things, because I think it could kind of force you to commit yourself to one thing. For example, I know this with language learning. A lot of people say, okay, there's Duolingo, there's Anki, there are different like language learning apps, there's Memrise, there are different kind of free websites and apps, but I would rather pay $5 a month or $2 a month or something like that, so that at least I'm not distracted and all over the place. At least I just kind of put all of my eggs in one basket and stick to this thing, right? I guess, yeah, and it could be the same with time as well, right? Like imagine you are a yes man and you just kind of say yes to everything. You just want to do everything at once, like some people are, and you want to start focusing on one thing. Sometimes if you spend a little bit of money, if you register for a course or something, then at least you're just kind of focusing just on that one thing at a time. Yeah. Would you consider yourself to be what we can call a yes man, somebody who says yes to a lot of things, who volunteers for a lot of things? Or would you say that you're a little bit more, I don't know what the word is, like not a no man, but just a little bit more skeptical, I guess?
I don't think I'm a yes man. I try to focus on the thing that I actually want to do. That, because I have X goal and I want to accomplish that. So if I'm just going to be distracting, starting different things along the way, then I'm probably not gonna get to the goal, to the place where I want to be here.
Yeah, fair play. All right, Juan, I have an idea. I think we should come back to Skype and have a look at here. I'll just share my screen so you could see what I'm looking at too. But if we come on back to Skype, maybe we could have a look at the link with minimalism here in the New Yorker. And I'd like to just find some new vocabulary, just some new words that you haven't seen before, or words that you would like to start using more often. And then we could add them to your Jamboard. And the reason why we do this is because then you have less work to do outside of class. You're supposed to have 20 words for this class and 20 for the next. So you need 40 in total by the time we have our next class. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's see if we could find another like 5 or so words in this link. So I'd like for you to just go through this link, have a look at it, and if you see any new words or new phrases, just call them out to me.
Oh, this word in the second paragraph, the new minimalist gospel.
Yeah, so where is, okay.
In the second line, in the second paragraph, the second line.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, the new minimalist gospel. Well, first of all, do you know what a gospel is?
Not really.
No? God, if I knew the word in Spanish, you'd know right away. It's religious. It's like, you know, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John in the Bible, they each have a gospel, or they each are, okay, yeah, I don't know how it works. But I think a gospel is like a book or a part of the Bible. Let me just check. I don't remember if the gospel is a song or gospel. Yeah, the four gospels were written. Yeah, so it's like the different parts of the New Testament of the Bible. Yeah. So when we say the minimalist gospel, it's like saying the minimalist Bible. So it basically means like the kind of you know, like the handbook, the core beliefs of minimalism. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect. So I'll put this in here. So gospel, and those are books in the New Testament. Perfect. Good stuff. Happy days. Yeah, I mean, we could use it with anything. If I get a handbook, or like if I write a handbook for teachers, I could call this the teacher Bible or something, the programmer's gospel. Yeah.
And then I found another word. It is I don't know how to pronounce that. Deprecation.
Deprecating, maybe? I'm not sure. Self-deprecate. I don't see where it is, but it sounds like you're saying self-deprecating. I just can't see where the word
Yeah,
is.
I send it to you. Not you in the chat.
Perfect. Oh yeah, it's in the chat. Okay, perfect. Yeah, exactly. Self-deprecation. Okay, perfect. Yeah. Self-deprecation, that's when people, that's when you do something that is supposed to bring shame upon yourself. It's supposed to make yourself look bad. There's a lot of comedy that's called self-deprecating comedy. So for example, if you're a fat man and you make jokes about fat people, it's self-deprecating. You're making a joke about yourself, right? You're bringing shame on yourself. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like for me, if I just like walk around and I say, Canadians are terrible people. I really don't like teachers. Teachers are awful. iTalki sucks. Like if I just say everything about me and my identity and say it's bad, you know, guys with facial hair are stupid, that's self-deprecating or self-deprecation. Does that make sense?
Do you do that with a particular purpose in mind, or?
A lot of the time, comedy. That's most of the time. Comedy, because people do it as a joke. If it's like a short person, they'll make jokes about, or even with culture. Sometimes Latinos will make jokes about like Latin culture. It's self-deprecating. So that's one reason. And the second goal is probably to be humble. Sometimes people say bad things about themselves because they don't want to seem like they're cocky or they're rude or too confident. You know, so sometimes Canadian people will say, I don't know, Canadian food sucks, Canadian weather sucks, Canadian culture sucks, Canada sucks. Sometimes people do it to just like, yeah, I think just seem humble and not seem like they are bragging too much. Those are the two main reasons. Oops. Perfect. All right, cool. Awesome. All right, that looks good right there. So how about we close this down and we have a look at your homework now. we could go over to your homework. And you could add more words in here after the class.
Let's go down. Words. I think I asked you, you said, I think it was fine. Because I'm reading right now some in an English book. So can I add words that new words that I found here?
Oh, totally. Yeah, that's a great idea. 100%. Great stuff. All right. Tell me about ways that you waste and or save water. All right. Could you read, please?
Yeah. Okay. Oh, teacher, could you pay attention to my pronunciations so you can?
100%. Definitely. I'm listening.
Okay. To be more conscious about my water usage at home, I reflected on the ways that I'm wasting water right now and made a plan to address them. Number 1, leaky faucets. I checked around my house and found 2 leaks. The first one was a dripping faucet in the kitchen, and the second one was a harder to catch leak under the bathroom sink. Although they were only very minor leaks, I'm going to try to fix them myself or else find a plumber. Number 2, leaving the water running. I must confess I'm guilty of leaving the water running while washing and rinsing the dishes, and sometimes while washing my face or cleaning my electric shaver. However, I now plan to fill the sink with soapy water when doing the dishes, and also to be more careful to turn off the tap when it's not in use. Number 3, long showers. Honestly, I didn't know I was taking long showers until I started tracking the time I spent doing various chores. It turns out my 30-minute showers are above the average shower duration. Therefore, even though I don't let the water run in the whole time, I will try to shorten my showers to under 10 minutes to save some extra water. I intend to apply these measures as soon as possible, and I encourage everyone to think about how they too can reduce their water usage.
Happy days. Good stuff. Awesome. Your grammatical accuracy is stunning. Everything looks good there. I only changed one thing. I put leave the water running. Aside from that, it sounds great. Your speaking is completely comprehensible. There are some things, since you're booking a lesson with a Canadian teacher, I could just give you some suggestions on how to sound a little bit more like how a lot of people in Canada sound. But in terms of being comprehensible, everything you're doing is spot on right there, Juan. So here are a few things right here. Let's just practice a few of these words. Could you say home?
Home.
Good stuff. Excellent. Yeah, I think I heard more of a home instead of a home. So it's just an O. Yeah, you pronounced it great the second time. Kitchen.
Kitchen.
Okay, good. Yeah, so there's just, it's just the I sound. This is a short I, so it's an I. Kitchen. Nice. Excellent. That sounds good. Excellent. And then we have words like the. It's like an sound. And when you were saying it quickly, I think I heard more of a da or something else going on there. All of this is just about when you say things fast. It's the same right here. I hear you say or else. If you want to have better fluency, put these words together. Or else. Yeah, exactly. So kind of stringing words together. This, again, is just about being formal or informal. To sound a little bit less formal and a little bit more natural, instead of saying running and putting the ing, we could just put running. Yeah. That's just a it's not even a suggestion, it's an option. We have guilty of. You'll notice when speakers when we speak, a lot of the time, we don't even say of with a strong sound. A lot of the time we say right? So for example, a lot of the time. If I say it slow, I say of the time, but usually I say a lot of the time, a lot the time. It's just an sound. So we kind of skip over the F sound quite often. Yeah, exactly. You'll see that, definitely. I put water here just because this is a difference between UK English and American English. Usually in American English, we pronounce a lot of T's like D's. So instead of saying water, we would say water. Yeah, like a duh. Again, it's just an option. Yeah. And reduce. Most of the time we have a R sound in American English instead of a re sound, instead of reduce. Yeah. And some of this just comes down to whether it's formal English or informal English. Okay, good stuff. That sounds great to me. Excellent stuff. So we'll work more on pronunciation in the future. Let me give you your homework. So for homework, of course, we need our tasks. So I'll give you option 1, option 2. Okay. What are some of the downfalls of minimalism? Words. Cool. What budgeting advice would you give to your former self? I just thought we'd include some budgeting if you want, since we're talking about minimalism and the different reasons for it. All right, so so we'll do for next class. So we have a few things here. Number 1, we have our homework right there. We have Jamboard. Jamboard. So we need 40 words for next class, or 40 contributions, 40 of those squares, those boxes. We need a blog post on Blogger. And maybe for your blog post, just tell me, what are your goals for English? Any length. That's the big difference between blog posts and homework. For blog posts, it could be any length. It doesn't matter. And SoundCloud. Maybe, yeah, just tell me a story of your first, of your university experience. Yeah. And that could be 3 minutes, a 3-minute upload. All right. Okay, of your stuff. All right, so that's it. It's a lot of homework this time, but after your second class, it'll be less. Do you have any questions? All good. All right, great stuff. I'll see you next time. Okay, Juan.
Okay, thanks. Have a good day.